Hi everyone, let's talk about WWE NXT from last night, January 21st, 2025. Let's talk about it, guys. The show opens with commentary welcoming us to the show, consists of Vince Joseph and Booker T and Corey Grave, who claim he's right where he wants to be, and then Rich Holland fences Tony D'Angelo for the NXT North American Championship, which was a banger, man. A banger, man. Let's talk about it though. Collar and elbow, shoulder into the corner, and trading since right hands, and Holland off the ropes, dropping the champion with a shoulder block and side headlock, shoots off, huge toss from the Don, and headlock takeover, grinding Rich down, and Sean Spears comes to the stage, and we go to the break, and back to the break. Fisherman suplex from D'Angelo gets two, and big slam from Holland for two, and Tony connects with a spear, and Spears is up on the apron, and the Don drops him, and a brawl breaks out in between the family and Sean's goons. While the ref is since Easy Dom slides in and kicks Rich square in the jaw, and Tony's right at him, and Tony D'Angelo won and retained the title right there, guys. Retained the NXT North American title. Then backstage we see Wesley roll up on Dion with Tyson and Tariq in town, and Wesley says there's a difference between potential and a, a potential and offense and a sense a sensitive sentiments. And Dion fires back, and Wesley turns to address Trick Williams and mocks him, so Trick hauls off and slaps him. Then we see Bayley walking backstage to send us to break. Then back from the break, Bayley makes her entrance and gets on the mic and welcome home chants back, chant out, welcome back, welcome back. You know the whole thing chant, welcome home, welcome home, welcome home. Then breaks out and she agrees this is her home, and she says last week she's here to talk to Roxanne Perez because she cares about Roxanne and everything she's done, but all got her was a big old slap in the face, and then she once wanted on to tell her she was acting like CM Punk or Natalia, but that's a compliment, right? And people like Natalia thought her how to give her back and help, and NXT doesn't own her anything. If anything can own NXT to get rid of an entitled idiot like Roxanne Perez, but eventually it may be too late for that, because not only did she get slapped in the face, but Roxanne Perez shows up to SmackDown and Raw and presents her from the front row, and that's just lame. You just do not have a better plan than that. She keeps talking about the locker room, and when she mentions Julia comes out. And then Julia says Roxanne may not look up to Bayley, but she does, and she hopes to hold the title with as much honor and loves NXT as Bayley did. And the role model thanks her for that and says she's a big fan of her as well, and she knows Julia is going to make some history moments for her own, because that title changes your career and your life. Then enters Roxanne Perez and Cora J. You know, the heels love them, love them. Roxanne Perez walks and talks and telling Bayley to drop the action and stop acting so innocent, because if she actually cared about the future, she wouldn't have punched her in the face last night. And Bayley says it's hard to hear her because she's getting booed so loud as Cora J what she's doing here. And Cora J says she was a native Bayley fan once too, and says as far as she's concerned, Julia should just give the title back to Roxanne right now. And boos continue appearance, and it's essentially kind of hard to understand when they're saying here. Roxanne Perez says something about Bayley knowing deep down that the current NXT is since what the Four Horsewomen did, and she should just admit what she really is here. And a brawl breaks out, and then the babyfaces sent the heels packing with relevant ease, and Kalani Jordan and Jaden Parker bicker in the locker room, but Carmen Pazagrovic tries to claim them down by saying none of that matters since love is in the air, and Parker doesn't like her being up in her business and says it's because she's finally got kissed, blah 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 blah, do not talk about my man, bicker, stuff like that. And then essentially we cut back to ringside, where Bayley and Julia and Cora J and Roxanne Perez are still beating the hell out of each other, and we go to the break. And like I said again, I like that romance story with Ashante Adonis and Carmen. You know what I'm saying? But sooner or later, it's people are going to get tired. But I like it. But I know other people don't like that story. Then we had Dion versus Wesley. Let's talk about that match, guys. Wesley hot out the gate and mad at Trick Williams slapping him out and tags in, and Leon pops him big and drops him and rolling onto the mat, and Dion with a big left hand and whips reverse front kick from West and scoops Lee, fighting out with an elbow kick to the knee, but Leon explodes with a shoulder block and a big spine buster, and Wesley barely kicks out, and Wesley with a series of kicks and a handspring, and Wesley wins with a Carson's kick. Then the post-match, Wesley gets on the mic and says he takes care of Dion, and now after Trick slaps him in the face, thinking he's the guy, he's going to take care of him next week. Then Trick Williams comes out and he sweeps Tyson and Tarek out of the ring, and he hits the ring and dropping Wesley and accepting the match for next week. And we get a Lexus King hype reel, and Lexus King makes his entrance, and we go to the break. Then back from the commercial break, Stephanie Falquer is interviewed backstage, and she says she wants the NXT North American Championship, and she's not going to stop because Fallon Henley wants to play with her opportunity. Excuse me, guys. She's not going to stop because Fallon Henley wants to play with her opportunities, or because Shotzi Blackheart tried to profit off her opportunity and tell Shotzi if she becomes champion, she'll meet hell, and Fallon that she can run but couldn't hide, which was good. I love Stephanie Falquer. Man, really good talent, I'm telling you. Then we had Charlie Dempsey versus Lexus King for the NXT Heritage Cup. And yes, man, I'm so happy with Lexus King still having this championship. I am so freaking happy that he still has it. Let's talk about it anyways, guys. So Charlie Dempsey with a leg pick and working an ankle lock, and Lexus King kicks him away, and Charlie shoves into a cinch choke against Lexus and trips him up, and pair drop kicks into an arm drag into an arm bar, and Dempsey rolls through it, and King hangs onto the wrist lock through, and hammer lock since knee to the arm and breaks the hold off the ropes, and Lexus with a fake out in the ropes, and Charlie hammers him with an uppercut in the return and drops toe hold reverse, and Charlie Dempsey has a sleeper hold and locks in with a 30-second left in the round, and folding press over for two and backsliding crossface chicken swing, and Lexus is saved by the bell, and we see saved by the bell, saved by the bell. Sorry. Had to think about that in my brain. Sorry. We see Bruce Knuckles in Lexus King's ice bucket in the corner, and we go to the break. Then back from the commercial break, we inform that Lexus King takes the rounds, and then Lexus King won that first round. Then Charlie Dempsey takes control early, working a Nick Crack, and Lexus King counters with a pinfall, and Charlie Dempsey hits a hard knee butterfly suplex into the bridge, and that's how Charlie Dempsey got one fall as well. And then between the rounds, Lexus King grabs the Bruce Knuckles but decides against it, and Charlie Dempsey with a wicked dragon screw rolls into a Gullen choke, and Lexus King fights out and chomps in the corner and bridges Northern Light suplex, and Lexus comes off the top with a diving crossbody back and forth, and finally seconds of the ground. The ref doesn't see the low blow, and that's how Lexus King freaking won by cheating, and I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I do not care. I love Lexus King, man. He's getting treated right. When he was in AEW, that was a different story, but here, him holding the NXT Heritage Cup, I love it. I think he's been the champion for about 3 weeks, right? Like 3 weeks or about a month, somewhere around there. Then Bianca Belair and Naomi cuts a promo on Mia Girls, telling them they better bring everything they got next week on Atlanta to have a hope of taking the titles. And Carmen Pazakovic makes her entrance. We go to the break, and then back from the break, Andre Chase is backstage chatting with Honk and Tonk and tells them to break up now, and because tag teams end in heartaches, and excuse himself and walks into a room with a bunch of folks are watching old Chase Hughes promos, and Kill Dixon flags him down to tell him he's a badass, but he says he was a badass and Chase Hughes is dead. And I'll say it again. Dixon says it doesn't have to be as he walked off. Then we had Jaden Parker fences Carmen Pasakovic. Let's talk about it, guys. Back and forth early armbar takedown from Carmen Pasakovic, countered into a pin, and Jaden Parker comes back with the electric chair facebuster, rubbing her into the corner and shoulder blocks and hanging her up. Double jump sit Suicide in the high steps and covers for two off a swinging neck breaker, hanging neck breaker, hold followed and whips to the corner, and Carmen slips away, and Jada gets under her electric chair, victory roll counter for two, and Carmen Kazakovic off the ropes and elbow, discuss lariat and ducks under and rolling bulldog, and Parker with a hard elbow drop. You know what I'm saying? A hard back elbow, a hard back elbow. You know what I'm saying? A hard back elbow, and Jada follows it with a Ghostbuster off the ropes, and Jaden Parker's on the apron to interfere, and Carmen Patakovic grabs Parker while she's busy with Jordan, and that's what happened right there, guys. Busy with Jordan, and that's how Carmen Patakovic defeated her with small package. Then Mina girls are backstage chatting with Soruka and Saria, who are since on them the opportunity to bring the tag team titles back to NXT, and Gigi Dolan and Tatum Paisley set up to agree that yes, they should bring the tag team titles back to NXT, and we see Oba Phoebe working out backstage, and we go to the break. Then, oh man, I'm telling you right here, man. I love these guys. I really do. I love both teams. I really do. Brooks, Ginny, and Nichols fences D'Angelo's family, chasing Stacks. Lorenzo fences Luca Chris Fisso, and rolling out the gate since the refs just give up and call for the bell, and Stacks takes Janet down with a springboard and dropkick to take the dive on the still and the crush, and back inside Brooks with a short arm lariat on Crucifool, and Stacks tags in and runs hot, and Luca blasts Vince with a super kick, and Jensen Brooks stops himself short in the ropes. I'll say it again. Stops in the ropes, and back body drops the lawyer to the floor, and Nichols blasts Luca in the steel steps, and rolling back kick from Brooks, and Nichols off the ropes, and Brooke, Jensen, and Nickel Vince win by pinfall with a lariat from Vince on chasing Lorenzo, which Lorenzo Stacks, which I call him Lorenzo Stacks, but chasing Lorenzo is a new name. He's been going by that probably for, I believe, probably 10 months or so. It's been almost a year, I believe. But yeah, chasing Lorenzo Stacks, you know. Then Nathan Frazier are interviewed backstage, and Exum admits he has a little doubt about their defense last week, but Nathan Frazier has no doubt that they are the best tag team on the planet, and they're going to beat the Rascals at TNA, and Josh Brooks and Gucha and Mura were rolled upset, and they were dodging them, and Nathan Frazier asks whoever beat, and we cut away to a big chaos brawl backstage. We go to the break, which was a nice brawl, guys. Then back from the break, Easy Dame is chatting with Tony D'Angelo before he finally excuses himself to go chat with the family. Then they're mad that he doesn't come out and help them against Brooke Jensen and Nickel Vince, and the Don says Stacks has been under boss for 2 years and he should have figured it out, and we get a video package for Eden Page, Reign of Tour, and Devon Evans is talking to Ever Reign backstage, and he wants to fight, but Ever Reign says he's not cleared, but Cedric Alexander is, and Cedric appears to say he's going to get revenge for both of them next week. Then a down under rolls up for no good reason, and Helen compliments on Eva, and she asks why they're there, and Grayson Waller says they just wanted to thank Kurt for letting them do Grayson Waller effect with the winner of the main event next week. And then Oba Fibby is showed walking backstage and he runs into Trick Williams and they share a sense back before we go to the break. And then we had the main event. With Eddie Tripsy and Oba Fibby. Great freaking match. Great freaking match as the main event. Let's talk about it, guys. Oba Fibby throws Eddie Tripsy into the corner. Eddie Tripsy ducks and dodges a German suplex off the ropes and elbow drop, cover for one, and action to the floor. And Oba Fibby sets him up on the apron, but Eddie Tripsy rolls away and he smashes his hand into the corner of the ring and striking away. And Eddie Tripsy knocks him into the floor with a dropkick, and an 8-down under appears on the Balassi to cheer as we go to the break. And then back from the break, Oba Fibby hammers him with a right hand side kick, takes him out, and spinning side slam follows and corner uppercut, big spine buster so close, and it sits Goosey Eddie Tripsy corner into a triangle choke, but Oba Fibby deadlifts him right up and powerbombs counters into a Frankensteiner since press for two, and then a Steiner gets Eddie Tripsy some breathing room, and he gets up top and diving elbow so close, and Eddie with an uppercut, drop kick, DDT block, and back elbow and corner German suplex, but Eddie sidesteps Oba and German suplexes him on the reground elbow drop, counters with a Goosey, and Oba Fibby smat and big choke slams him, and still Eddie Tripsy finds the will to kick out. Oh man, it was amazing. Then a shotgun dropkick, big boot counter. Oba has him measured and releases the powerbomb, and that's how Oba Fibby won the match and did the fall from grace, the win, the powerbomb. And then Oba jaw at 8-down under on top of the Balassi before turning around to see Trick Williams in the ring, and Eddie gets up and Trick blasts him with the knee, and that's what happened in the show, and I give this show a 9 out of 10. Freaking 9 out of 10. Freaking good stuff, I'm telling you guys. Good stuff. Just good stuff. It's the best show in my opinion. Out of Raw and SmackDown and NXT right now, NXT is the best show, in my opinion. Then it's Raw, then SmackDown. But I still love all the shows, but I'm just saying. I love Raw, love SmackDown, love Raw, love NXT, love SmackDown, Dynamite, Collision, freaking MLW shows, but they only have once a month or whatever, but I still love that company. Love every promotion. You know what I'm saying? Team all. So yes, guys. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit those notification bells. As always, guys, this is Christopher Jackson Denver. I'll say it again. This is Christopher Jackson Denver, and we're out.